everybody. A warm welcome to today's webinar, hosted in the frame of our Your.AI project. Our project is an Erasmus Plus initiative aimed at helping young creatives and youth workers better understand the world of artificial intelligence. And this event brings together voices from across Europe, united by a shared goal, which is to make artificial intelligence education even more open and approachable for everyone, regardless the technical background. So we are honored to have with us today our outstanding team for Fundacja FOTON, one of our key partners in this journey. And guiding us through today's session, there will be our expert speaker, Jacek Kulka, whose insight will make the most complex AI concept easy to grasp. But before diving into the main presentation and topics, I would like to give the first stand to the floor over Ewelina Butrynovicz. I make it right, kind of. I made my best. And to the Photon team, almost.
Yeah.
For a few words of introduction and welcome. So Ewelina, over to you.
Thank you very much, Giulia. I would just like to start with a short introduction to AI in general and copyright issues that arise around artificially generated materials. I believe that there is no person in the world that uses internet and hasn't heard of AI at all. But just to be clear, in simple words, it's a technology that enables computers and machines to learn and learn how to simulate human behavior, intelligence, etc. And AI can understand and respond to human language, create original texts, songs, images, videos, and many more, as you probably know. All the knowledge and skills that AI can conquer comes from a human thought data. It's called the machine learning techniques. That means that there is most of the data that is put in the internet is used by companies to teach the machines and computers how to behave like a human, how to write like a human, and do the things that to this day was created only by a human hand. And now it raises concerns about copyright laws or privacy of data shared online. Big services like Facebook, Google, and other companies have written into their privacy policies that they may use your data to train AI. And some of the services allow you to withdraw from this training, but it's usually well hidden in their settings, and not all of the people know that they can withdraw from connecting of this data, and that's why they aren't aware that AI tools are trained on the information that they gather from people. And almost everything that we post online is used, probably already been used by AI tools to learn how to behave like us. So every social post, every, I don't know, even YouTube videos, everything that we put, it's used to teach this technology. And that is why the AI is developing so fast, because it's learning all the time without our knowledge, and it becomes more and more advanced every day. According to current law, only a human can be recognized as an author of everything that is created, and AI cannot be an author of anything in general. But there is a concern that if you use too much of AI tools to create things like images, songs, you may be using a work of somebody else. The work that was that the machine was learning on, and you can just unawarely create very similar content to some well-known authors or individuals that post their work online. if a graphic designer enters a prompt into an AI tool and like create a Van Gogh style image for me, and result will be printed without major changes, and the copyright status may be questionable then. However, if the designers uses the AI generated results as an inspiration, or just like makes many modifications with their own style and ideas, then we can say that the result in the work is more of our authorship than from a copied. Sorry, I lost the track already. Yeah. It's like a human author work already, not AI generated. But there is also uh, saying that the human role in the creative process determines the legal protection of the work generated with the help of AI. So the more you put in your work, even if you use the AI tools to help you, inspire you, give you new ideas, the more the work belongs to you. And there is another hot and major topic about the AI, as I already mentioned, about the training data used by AI models. Because we aren't actually sure to what extent our work is used. So there is a hot question: is training AI on protected works a copyright infringement? And there are divided opinions between people, and some argue that there is text and data mining. It's a process of deriving information from machine-read materials. It works on the data provided by internet, and it extracts the data and recombining it into identifying patterns. Others believe that copying protected content, even for analysis, requires the creator's content. And that is the main issue that arises when we speak about artists working with AI. They are very protective of their work, and they are always unsure of if their work won't be copied and then used without their consent. In the UA, there is a digital single market directive, and it introduces an exception for text and data mining, and it allows creators to opt out. That means to withdraw from providing your data to a model training. But as I already mentioned, it's not that sure, because not all of the services give you that option. Sometimes you need to allow the data to be used, because otherwise you won't be able to use some of the services. And the line between the human authorship and machine generator remains very blurry right now. There are currently ongoing lawsuits against tech giants for unauthorized use of copyrighted content to train generative AI models. And future results of these cases may define and redefine the legal standards for machine learnings. And that's as much as I can tell you about this, as I'm not an AI expert. But thanks, yeah, lucky for us, we have an AI expert with us, and I would like to give the floor to him now, so we can learn more about the other option that can be alternative to online AI tools that we all know, and that is offline AI. And that's, for me, that's very interesting topic. I learned about it recently, and I think that Jacek can tell you more about the chances that it can bring, and secure your data and work, and creative work especially. Thank you.
Thank you, Ewelina.
Thank you, Ewelina. So
Thank you.
you put a bright on the legal background, so I will be try to explain some differences between offline and online models. So maybe I will start for the most simple comparison which I know, that between a Netflix and the Blu-ray. In an offline model, all computation stays on the device. So the rough photo, voice recording, health metrics, or other sensitive inputs never leave the user possession. So this eliminates the risk of third-party collection, cloud breaches, or inadvertent data sharing. So when you stream a film on an online service like a Netflix, the video is delivered from the company's cloud servers. And every pause, and every rewind, every rating you give is logged there. So the provider's IT staff can review these logs to keep the platform running, personalize your recommendation, and fix problems, for example, because everything happens in the cloud. So you must stay connected to the internet. If the services change its app or lose a license, a title can disappear overnight. By the contrast, watching a movie from a Blu-ray disc is an offline experience. So the film and any playback data stay entirely on the disc and your player. So no company servers there is and no external IT team. Can you see what you are watching now? The disc run without an internet connection and its content never vanishes, and as long as you own it. The trade-off is that you miss out on automatic updates, remote bug fixes, but you gain maximum privacy, full control, and permanent access to your copy. It's a general description, and now the point of view and the artist. So what is the potential of offline AI? And what are the main differences from offline AI system and online system? So offline AI is a system that does all of its things on your device you hold on your hand, your phone, your laptop, your camera, or the small computer, personal workstation, whatever, inside a piece of equipment. So online AI, by contrast, sends your data across to the internet to powerful servers, gets the answer there, and then delivers that answer back to you. Because everything stays on device, offline AI reacts almost instantly. So there is no waiting for a network round trip. So voice transcription, photo cleanup, or quick suggestion feel immediate. It's also keep your private information, picture, recording, health readings inside the device with greatly reduce the chance of leaks or unwanted tracking. This same independence means the software keeps working in place where coverage is unreliable or too expensive. So such as remote villages, underground tunnels, or disaster zones. Online AI still has its strengths. Servers can host very large models that squeeze out a bit more accuracy and can draw on fresh internet knowledge. They update themselves quickly in the background, and they can personalize results by comparing what millions of other users have done. The trade-off is that you must stay connected. You have to trust the provider with your data, and you might face delay when networks are busy. The other question was, how is the information stored in the artificial intelligence? So an offline AI search engine is simply an app that keeps a miniature library and a little thinking brain inside your own device. When you set it up, it copies the documents you choose, save web pages, PDFs, emails, or even a snapshot of Wikipedia into local storage and build a private index. So it can look things up quickly. Each time you ask a question, it consults that index of the spot, and the answer is putting together right there on your phone or laptop, which no message ever sent to the internet. But that is important. And all of this information stays in a folder locked by the some passcode or fingerprint that protect the rest of your device. So even if someone removed the memory chip, they would still need your credential to read it. Because nothing travels beyond your pocket. There are no remote servers that could be hacked, misconfigured, and you don't have to rely on any company to erase hidden backups, etc. Think of an offline model such as DeepSeek or Llama as a very large digital memory that lives completely inside your phone or laptop. During training, the model reads millions of pages from books, websites, and code. Each time it guesses the next word in a sentence. It fine-tunes its internal settings, a huge set of numbers called weights. Over many weeks, the model squeezes what has read into those numbers, the way a zip file squeezes many documents in one smaller package. The result is not like a database of facts you can open. It's a pattern library that helps the model predict which words usually follow others. The rough file of weight is big, about 16 gigabytes for a 8 billion parameters model. To fit on everyday devices, the file is quantized, is divided. The numbers are stored with fewer bits, a little like round, long decimals for fewer places. After that, the same model shrink to roughly 4 gigabytes, small enough for a phone with 8 gigabytes, for example. When you ask a question, your words are first turned into tiny numeric codes. These codes follow through the network of weights, network of probability. At each step, the model matches what you've wrote again, the language pattern. It learned during training and calculates which word is most likely to come next. By repeating that steps, it writes a complete answer, all without sending a single byte to the internet. Because its knowledge was frozen at the end of the training, the model will not know about events that happened later, unless you give it new text or let it logs apply. Sorry. By repeating that step is write a complete answer, all without sending a single byte to the internet. If you decide you do need fresh material, for example, the same offline model can simply open a web browser like an ordinary user, run a quick online search, and read the page it's found. This, just like a human, browsing still keeps your private files local when letting the AI pull in new facts whenever a connection is available. Could the AI remain useful for the heaviest jobs and real-time news? But for everyday queries, this blended approach gives near instant answer while keeping every word and picture entirely under your control. Other question was, does offline AI support users in regions with limited or no internet access? Like I said before, the offline AI is helpful in places with weak or no internet because everything happened directly on the phone, laptop, or other gadget. Translation, voice typing, or even simple medical checks can keep working on a mountain trail or during a blackout because the software never has to talk to a distant server. No signal is needed, so nothing stops when the network drops. The examples of using the offline models. So I prepared 6, the most popular example nowadays, for especially dedicated for the young artists and youth workers. But in a general picture of that good everyday examples are the camera translation mode in Google Translator. After you download a language pack, the voice recorded on modern Android phones that turn speech into text without sending the audio away. And drawing apps such as Krita that use built-in AI to clean up a sketch even if Wi-Fi is off. So digital artists get offline help inside Krita through the experimental Fastline Art plugin. It cleans a pencil sketch into 3D inclines using a small neural network that never upload the canvas, keeping unfinished artwork strictly private. Several major open source projects already lets you ruin modern AI without ever touching the cloud. The next one example is Jan.AI, sorry. It's a free open source chat program you can install on your own computer, Mac or Windows or Linux. When you open it from the first time, Jan asks you to pick a language model to download. This is the brain, the model, the language is the brain what you choose to use it. It will use to understand question and write replies. The file lives on your hard drive, and never leaves. So once the download is finished, Jan does all its things with the processor or graphic card that is already in your machine. So you can keep chatting even if Wi-Fi is turned off. Nothing you type is sent to any company server. Which is why the project calls itself 100% offline. If you want a smaller or smarter brain later, you can simply choose another model from Jan built-in list and download easy and quick that one too. Everything from the app itself to the optional model. It's open source, meaning anyone can inspect or improve the code. The third example is a stable
Jacek,
diffusion.
I
Yeah.
can see there's a hand raised by Ewelina. Maybe
Okay.
some question, Papa?
Yeah, I have
Okay,
a
please.
question. Like, how big does the storage then need to be? Like, if someone is downloading the app or like downloading the AI to the computer, how much storage do they need, or can they is it better maybe to buy 1 gigabyte or 1 terabyte out of Festplatte?
Okay.
That data source, not on your computer, the outside of your computer source.
Okay, I understand what you ask about, but it's not exactly like that because the
Hard drive.
storage is not important because usually nowadays people have 1 terabyte or larger storage in the computers, but the AI models need just 16 gigabytes. So it's little. So it's a piece of the most important requirement is the memory of the graphic cards that make your machine model faster. If you have a GPU like NVIDIA or AMD, something like that, that probably this machine model will be work faster. Of course, the GAN and the Stable Diffusion have options to work just on a CPU without dedicated graphic card, but you have to wait longer for a result, for answer for a question. I will be talking about that a bit later. Just give me 5 minutes, and I have a bit more information about that. So okay, we talk about the requirements of the GAN, of the Stable Diffusion. So is this, if we talk about the Stable Diffusion, so, for me is the best example for the working with images. I recommend everyone whom are working with Stable Diffusion to using a special package, Automatic 1111. It's a web UI on Windows or Linux, or Mochi Diffusion on a Mac. So you can download the model directly to your drive, then you can use your GPU, or Apple computers have a special neural engine included too. So it's not required a special graphic card. This interesting option in new computers. So you can use that and edit photos or upscale frames while the machine is in airplane mode, if you have a Stable Diffusion on your computer. The next one is a text type. For text type, you can load a large language model with Llama from the Meta. So you can download the Llama 3 or other checkpoints into a quantized file, compressed file. Okay, so the smaller than they use in a corporation. It's available on a general public license, so it's for free for everyone. The size of the file that Verena asked about, if we talk about the Llama, is something like 4-5 gigabytes for this model. So run with nothing more than a CPU or an integrated GPU. So chat, code, complementation is more not important maybe for artists, but every work with a text or clear text. So checking a coherence of text for poets, for example, for writers, for novel writers, is useful. So AMD corporate.
Yes, Jacek, sorry for interrupting you. I see one other question popping up.
Okay.
It's good.
It's me again. Are we, I don't know if it just came to mind. I don't know if you will talk about it later, but I would like to really talk about copyright and stuff like that with the AI topic.
Okay. It's there, but of course we can back to that.
Okay.
The copyrights that Ewelina said. If you are using the offline models, everything is your. For first, you don't share your work results to the public space, so it's full privacy and is fully your own. You are sure that it's just you. Nobody know what you work about. But if you are putting anything to the public services like Midjourney, ChatGPT, whatever, everyone service online have that same rights. Everything what you put in the public space is public. So, for example, when Flora are prototype something, yeah, it's working on metamorphose something from the color to the shapes or in the different way. Should be careful because everything is public. Every one picture what you upload to the server is used to training the models. So if you upload data, you agree that you share your art knowledge, your copyright to the public, to the training the model. If the other one person will be asked for drawing like a flora, this machine model probably do it. So it's the most important things that people should use offline models. I know it's maybe more hard to use, a bit weird for not technical persons, yeah. So, but I believe that we should do a bit of the power to learn about the offline models and to use it. And I see the future of the artificial intelligence models exactly in offline models. The awareness about the copyrights and the differences between online models and offline models is increased. I hear that when I talk with other person from the AI branch, they are most asked about the the ways of implementation the offline models in a normal job, in a government, in an artist school. I was asked about that when I had a last time a visit in Łomża, in an art school. So that not surprised me. Nobody know about the differences between. They were shocked, but the true is never easy to give. Yeah, so I think that the law, of course, the regulation of the European Commission is a really good way. And we are a super lucky because we live in the Europe, so we have a law which protect us. But the rest of the world is wild west. So maybe the rest of the countries will be do exactly like that what we get in this project, for example. I'm happy that we talk about the differences between offline and online models. I know that is not that maybe honest on the online services. They don't bold this information about what's happened when you upload your art to the internet. So if you will be pressure, make a pressure up for the services, for the governments, to share the knowledge about the copyrights that you said. Yeah, I think it's a really good way.
Jacek, some other questions on the way. Jürgen, please. We can hear you. Sorry.
Thank you very much for the explanation. Knowing that you had like an appointment or like date with many artists, can you sort of, explain it more on realistic samples which you experience talking to artists who usually have the concerns about their copyright, their ethics, they're really like, up on the toes, as you mentioned with Flora. Because I think since I have like students and I see other sort of, participants who I guess are coming from the arts field, to have it more related on the background of an artist who is concerned about what's going on with the World Wide Web and giving training data, why it's so important to have an offline AI model.
Yeah, it's possible to teach the offline models with respect a copyright. So artists can teach models, offline models. For example, in the stable diffusion, it's like LoRa or Dreambot fine tuning. Okay, so from the beginning, on a home PC, you can train or tune models best through the LoRa. You need a solid graphic card and a PyTorch environment. I will be write a small course about that in tutorial. It's not simple to explain in on this webinar, but it's fully possible. All what you need is the patience and a few gigabytes of free space. So I promise I prepare a tutorial how to learn offline models.
But how would it work? I mean, just in practical use. I mean, I'm an artist, I'm sitting at home. I decided, either using Yarn, which I sort of, explored as well. Download Yarn. I'm secured that I have like that AI version like on my laptop. Would I sort of, upload my art, like drawings or sketches, and then sort of, prompting itself to get some other results out of it? Just to have it more practical, that I guess the attendants who are with us today get some sense and be more realistic, like how would it actually work in a real life if you experience or work like with a program like Yarn?
Yarn is basically a similar model like a DeepSeek or a Llama, but the difference is the Yarn is made like an open space software, or open source software from the beginning. So it's not made by the commercial companies. So is the main difference. And the Jan is the learning process was focused on coherence of the text is made for writers. So that's why the Jan is available in different version in different languages. For example, the DeepSeek is just a one version for every languages at once, but the Jan is available in many different languages, especially focused to our poets, to our writers. So it's useful for artists because I have included big database of words, of similar words, of comparison of the words in any direct languages, with a special focus on coherence the sentence. I'm searching for the effective explaining my meaning. Does mean the Jan is perfect to the explaining what exactly the author mean. You know that question from the school, what's author mean? Yeah, so Jan is made for answer, for this question. So if it's easier to teach and training the Jan model than than the Stable Diffusion, for example, because Jan need to work low requirements about the computer, about the CPU, about the GPU.
I'm sorry. Are we still talking about the offline tool now, but or what is it we are talking about right now? Because I'm not familiar with the software you're talking about right now, or the AI.
The Jan is an offline tool.
Can you type it into the chat? Because I've never heard of it.
Okay, so Jan.ai.
Yes, maybe Jacek also the above mentioned one,
Okay.
so that we can have
It's
a look.
public. Okay, it's a public. I really
And
recommend you to use it.
in general, I would really like to point out that we don't like, I just want to bring to the attention that because we are talking to artists, that we don't want to replace your art. We want to help to them
course.
to with what they need, but not like do the art in general with the AI.
Of
That's
course.
not our approach, just to say it again. Because I
I
think Flora
agree.
left, so I'm speaking for her.
That's why I talk about the example to work with a graphic. It's a Krita. It's an open source tool. I wrote in the chat. It's a Krita. And Krita is not like Midjourney, because Krita can't draw pictures standalone by themselves. Just Krita using an artificial intelligence to help you.
And are these things you're talking about, is the tool you made for us?
No. The Krita is an open source tool too.
But is your tool like also having
It's more
things like
similar
this?
like a Jan AI.
Aha.
Yeah, but the Your.AI chat is especially made for artists whom are working as a front-end web page developers.
Okay, and then I would really like to ask you, where is this data stored then? Because it's your chatbot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And who is taking care of
Yes.
it? Actually, I'm very curious who's managing behind the
Okay,
scene.
so the data is storage nowhere. So nothing is saved. The every prompts are going to the null. It's used only in this moment when you make your questions. So when you send a prompt to the chat, this chat received your prompt, they make an answer to you, and everything is cleared. So
it cannot learn then. It has its knowledge, and then it forgets about your answer.
yes, exactly.
Because it's like
ridiculous.
pre-trained. So Jacek, is it true that like
It has
each
dementia.
one, yeah, like everyone sending a prompt is actually not feeding the machine, because the machine is pre-trained. Is that true? Or because I kept hearing about, yeah, but if you are sharing, you are like nourishing. For example, I don't know, artificial intelligence engine. Everybody knows about ChatGPT, but is that true that we actually contribute to make it grow, or is a cliche? Actually, it's a prejudice.
We talk about this our own chat, yeah. So okay, so in this example,
both ways. Like, what is the difference between the online one and the offline one? I would
this
say
hybrid online offline chat is available online. Of course, I know that can make a confuse, but everything is happen on a standard PC workstation. All this chat is run on a normal PC built by €100. So and the privacy is the radical way made, but so this chat don't remember anything what you talk about, but you of course you should put all your prompt in one block. So if you have a big answer, you should push a big question. Yeah. So for that, nobody can change a behavior of this model. So of course, this model respect every European regulation, like not answering on a medical question, for example, or how to make a bump, or something like that. Of course, in the dark web, it's available to get machine models with bad behavior, and they don't have any limits, but it's a dark side of the world, yeah, and we are the bright side. So this model respect, of course, every rights of the humans, animals, of the medical, and they are full focused on the privacy. So this model can't answer what other person would talk about. Yeah, so everything is fully in privacy. Is the brutal side method to forget about everything what this model talked before, but for us is the better choice nowadays to do in that way. It's more secure.
So I think if we are using your tool, then I think we should definitely put a disclaimer or something like very prominent there that people know that this version is not saving any data. I think it's important
Yeah, it's important.
that
Okay,
they
so
directly before they use it, that they get instructed that nothing is going to be saved, and I think it's a good thing to
okay,
mention.
you can feel safe because nothing is safe. So
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah, okay.
We
Yeah.
don't
Okay.
want your data, kind of.
What we? There is no we. It's just a machine
Exactly.
model. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is one other side of the thing, I would say, the moral also boundaries. So Sylvia, I can see your hand raised.
Yes, I have a question. What about the environment? Because is this offline model better for sustainability or is as bad as the others for climate change regarding servers and everything else?
Okay. Of course, it's a hard question. Uh, the offline models usually are using less the energy than the online models. Is nothing to compare because, for example, the Gemini are using a nuclear plant to work, but the Your.AI model using a normal PC station with 200 watts supply power. So that can be a supply from the sun energy, for example. The requirements are very low. So the way of the offline models um, force us to save the energy because in general the offline model that's mean something pure, something that you can bring, something like a smartphone, so something like a laptop. The online models are very hungry about the power consumption, and agree with you that we should be careful about the environment and using these models in this way, like we are using nowadays, is a blind path. Yeah, so we don't have unlimited energy, so we should be using economical version of the artificial intelligence, and exactly the offline models are like that. Of course, they are slower, not that fast they are like online models, but they are keeping our environment in a one piece. Yeah.
That's
We
very
should also
important
remember that, yes, we
topic.
should note that somewhere.
It's very important. It's
Yeah.
fundamental, I would say. Adam,
Also for the
please.
project.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, thank you. So maybe a little add to the Jacek collaboration. Uh, Coming to the sustainability, you have to think about effectivity of using the tool. In the case that you are using your personal AI helper, let's call it that, you are using you are running very specific tasks. So you are focusing on doing your job and using public AI models. Lots of people asking AI models about some very basic things, and they are use these resources in not effective way. So from the sustainability point of view, the using your personal AI models are more nature friendly, let's say, I think. So that's my comment for that.
Thank you. That's a very important topic. Thank you, guys. Yeah, I would also like to hear if, I mean, the floor is open for any other question or input. Do you happen to, any of you, to use offline models, or any remark or curiosity you want to further explore? Or it's of our participants, of course.
Don't be shy. Now is the time to talk to an expert and raise all these questions. I think it's important, since we
Yeah.
had quite emotional discussions about copyright and ethics, and I think unplugged AI is a good solution for that.
Yeah,
Who else?
yeah, I fully agree with Jürgen. There is no other way to keeping a privacy and the copyright, if we talk about the artist, than using offline models. So they aren't promoted. You can't see any commercial about using offline models. Some ways I heard maybe the Apple in the new iPad will be have included special neuron processor unit NPU, and that will be a first devices with artificial intelligence fully offline. So that will be something special new. The new Pixel 9 from Google smartphone, it have included a neuron processor unit 2. It's super energy safe and effective. So I see that the most corporation, they see the problem with the energy, with the costs of using the online models. That, like Adam said, people ask about the brain root questions. So we lose a lot of energy to to make an answer for a question. For example, what weather is. So people are super lazy to write a one question on a prompt in the Google. they preferred using artificial intelligence to everything. So
Sounds like a
it's
new project.
okay. But I think that will be a well idea to include that every information in the summary of our activities. So that is the effect, yeah. So we talk and we have our results. So it's
Yeah.
the core.
I also placed some other tools, some of them Jacek mentioned, which you can use, and I think I just can give you sort of, I mean, the try just sort of, I mean, to explore them, I mean, further. Plus, I also sort of, I mean, typed in some advantages and benefits. I mean, using offline AI, I think that's useful. That's all in that chat. And I agree. I mean, I think we shouldn't sort of, I mean, raise typical questions which we usually ask Google, but rather than sort of, I mean, opening the floor of asking more unusual things like, I mean, how would Da Vinci give me an answer on a problem like that? I mean, that's something sort of, I mean, which is more an exploration to get something out of it, still hypothetical, because since we don't know and AI doesn't know what Da Vinci usually would have said, but I think something like that gives it like a broader, I mean, spectrum of getting ideas or being influenced by someone else who is possibly dead or is not able to talk in a way like we usually talk to him. Things like that. I think that's just from my experience in the past. I started some, I mean, prompts, and the results I'm getting is quite unusual.
Yeah, I just want to say two things because I also read like lately that AI is like because it's online kind of that not all resources we're getting from AI are legit because it's not everything is AI says it's a fact or it's real.
So
And
good to underline. Yeah. Yeah, people are
we
taking for
have to
granted.
we
Yeah.
have to be a little bit conscious about that.
Yeah.
And the second thing I really would like to ask every participants, would you be curious to use this AI tool we are talking about? I would be very curious. Like, did we make you curious?
Yes, because I think that the feedback and the input of the ones that have to deal with it, it's fundamental to create something meaningful.
Yeah. But
And
maybe we can find that out in the future.
Yeah, but for sure, I mean, I will follow up with all the participants and the one that subscribe to the event with kind of a minute of today's sessions to, I mean, trace the path for further steps. As you know, as you might know, the project is still midway, not even. So we have a long journey to make together. This is just the first part. We are still looking for inputs and feedbacks. That's why I very thank you much for your attendance today. The presence of each and one of you, it's very relevant for the meaningful project. So yeah, if I mean you allow me, I would like to close this session with one maybe recap question. So Jacek, it's a $1 million question. How do you envision as an AI expert the development and the adoption of the offline AI evolving in the next few years and maybe in the coming decades?
Okay. In the next few years, more and more devices will come built-in AI brain that works even when the internet is off. New chips can think faster while using less power that we talked before. So everyday tools, keyboard suggestion, quick photo fixes, live translation will run like a flashlight on your phone, always ready, never asking for signal, with a privacy. You can already see on phones that we talked before, a Pixel 9 from the Google carries its own Gemini Nano model. So it can summarize screenshot and save voice notes even in airplane mode. That is the nearest future. Apple is doing the same. The M4 chips has a neural engine that can remove video background and create music entirely on the tablet. What's happened after 5 years? I really don't know. 1 year ago, I said that we are safe because the artificial intelligence can't make a sandwich or can't unload the dishwasher. So from 1 month, it's available for artificial intelligence, so I was wrong. Maybe I don't will be try to drive a vision of the 5 years, but by the 1 year, I think that the offline models will be more popular, and the awareness about the offline models will be increased. And maybe I can ask Adam about the opinion in this subject.
Yeah, so it's a interesting question because the development of such solutions is enormous fast right now. For example, the people that built the OpenAI model, the ChatGPT, told that this is the most powerful model in the world. And after a few months, the Chinese guys came with the DeepSeek, which was trained by a teeny fraction of the money that was needed to train the GPT model. So the development, the inventions are very accelerate in this area. But I think it will be, as Jacek mentioned, it will be built in every device which right now have some electronics, because it's help improve the functionality. It helps improve and optimize the electricity usage, for example. And unfortunately, in my opinion, it is a danger for the people, for the people, because it's take from our shoulders, needing to thinking in some situation, to use our brains. And I think it may decrease our cognitive intelligence, our intelligence in general, because of this helping us in each day situations. So I see it on the example of kids, that how they use artificial intelligence, and it's helped them to teach new things. But on the other hand, it's getting from them the training process. And yes, it's for me decreasing, I think decreasing the cognitive levels of our brains. So it's a danger for that. But the artificial intelligence is the future, and I think we don't have any came back to our previous way to operate and use our computers and electronic devices.
Thank
And
you, Adam.
on the more optimistic side, I believe that we will be have more time, free time for philosophy, for art, generally. So people aren't made to work in factories. People are made to philosophy, to talking about the sense of the word. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I think artificial intelligence are able to make us free people. So yeah, I see that in this way. Of course, I agree with Adam. There is some negative question, but it's always something new, a bit hard us, because we aren't adjusted enough to a new situation. But it's just a process. So on the end, I see us more free and more powerful. And in opposite to the Adam, I think that increase our intelligence finally.
I would end this webinar with this optimistic note. I see
But
that.
maybe, sorry, Giulia.
Yeah, sure.
Maybe because Arteria includes for e-learning module this part about ethical points, so maybe I will include Jacek conclusion, last conclusion. I will try to remember it.
100%. I think artificial intelligence, it's a sea we must learn how to surf it. So yeah, to grab the power back to us. So thank you, everybody. Really was a very inspiring, brilliant session. That's just the beginning, as I was saying. Thank you, everybody, for your active involvement in organizing this webinar, in collecting curiosity, questions, and for being us, literally. So thank you for your time. We hope you enjoy and to have you on the next steps of our project.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
And
Bye.
see you
Thank
again.
you,
Bye.
everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.